Oh yeah. All right.
This. That's my fault.
Yeah, I didn't have any complaints with it. I just didn't know that they were doing it in England, and then they started outlawing it. That's the early on when I said, wow, I didn't know that. I just assumed it had always been, illegal. But it show you documented the change in there.
Wait, what are you talking about, Brother Albert, for reference? So when I start reading, I'm not confused.
Okay, let me get to the part. Let me see if I can find it again. It was early in here where he was talking about the Queen of England. Said, would it be rude to the Queen? I didn't highlight it. See, that's where I made my mistake. I probably should have highlighted it. Oh, man. That's what I get. That's what I get. I'm gonna tell you what else. Yeah, the numbers you punched in here about the sexual transmitted diseases. That was mind blowing with how you broke it down racially. And I think I heard some of them numbers as opposed to some of the like with the violence within those groups. And that threw me for a loop. Let me see if I can find it for you, good brother.
I was telling Brother Wayman, I don't even have a copy of it yet.
And I didn't buy everything I can. I ain't got a job no more, man. So.
No, what I'm saying is like if something happened with like my copies are different.
Oh.
The price point is different, and so, but they were like, it's not available yet, available soon. They keep telling me that, but people are like, hey, I got the book. I'm like, wait, I don't even have it. Yeah. I still don't have. I've ordered it like 3 times, still haven't come yet.
Well, you got like a teacher's copy or something?
No, you as the author, you're not paying the same price.
Oh.
Getting your copies, and I still haven't received it.
Yeah, early on in here, Brother Khalil, he shows where Augustine made a statement about why it shouldn't be allowed. Then the Anglo-Saxon Council of Hartford in 1673 forbid it. Then I ain't gonna tell the whole stories or nothing because it's his book, obviously. Then he talked about should the Queen be unable to prevent the divorce or something? Called it a great evil, meaning with the king. Because I never thought of it. The kings did have more than one wife. That big one, he used to chop his wife's heads off when he got tired of her. Was it King Henry?
Yeah, Henry. Yeah, okay, so so that book breaks down like how we got to the thinking the way we think.
Mm-hmm.
About the topic. Mm-hmm. It had nothing to do with like, it was more cultural. It's like, and now it's being pushed as far as ethics, and then they're trying to impose that on the Bible. The Bible doesn't say that.
Right.
At all. And it's when you look at what the reasons, the theories of why it came about, it was just like a means of like, it was like you had these despots, you had these guys. Hey, you have certain guys that are going to have all the women because they have the power. Right. And so women would rather be with that guy than with an average guy. Right. Or he had the power to just take women. Right. So, but the problem with that also is you have all the women. Mm-hmm. Women is the motivation for men, including your soldiers, including those that your counselors, the various people. So in order to make sure things are balanced somewhat and to keep men basically somewhat happy, they have to have access to women. Yeah. When men don't have access to women I'm not just talking about just random access. I'm talking like as wives, there's a problem. Yeah. So they impose monogamy. They did it for military reasons. Mm-hmm. Then you see some theories that women wanted it. We even saw those. Remember, I was showing you those documents just in regard to Hagar, doing Bible study in regard to Hagar and Sarah, and when she gave her Hagar, and those documents from that around that area and that time period was saying that that's what they would do.
Yeah.
So our ideas about it are crazy. And you bring that up, that's something I actually wanted to touch upon. Not necessarily polygyny, but polyamory. Have you seen? I saw an article that was talking about it's on the rise.
Women having more husbands?
Well, that's polyandry. Polyamory is just these relationships, just whatever, groups. But I'm thinking, like, when people talk about, like, because we're in a gynocracy, it's no longer a patriarchy.
Hold on. Let me get my dictionary. You went college on me. You said gynocracy. I'm from 26 in Cleveland, brother.
Ruled by women.
There you go. Thank you.
So it's not like, it's like they're going to basically have more partners without any stigma associated with it. You're already seeing that. And in addition to that, they're going to they may start deciding to more so be with certain guys. They've already doing that, but they'll choose those guys who are on the upper echelons, because they all are shooting, no matter what they look like, no matter their size, no matter their income, no matter if they have kids, they're all pointing and shooting for the top tier, quote unquote, top tier guy or man. So if that be the case, what does that mean for the average working man? That means you may lose access to women.
I hope not. I hope
it's already a crisis going on between the male-female dynamic, really.
Right. Now, I hate to add to that, because it really is, until they at least get some sense in their heads.
But that's I mean,
get some,
I don't know. What do you brothers think about that notion? Like, because if you look around, it's like, it's the idea that you deserve this particular person, when most people are average people. Most people are just average, everyday people, ordinary, everyday people. But when you're saying, no, I actually deserve this particular person,
that's right.
They have to make this much money. And it's like, do you know how many people make that much money? It's kind of
right. No, it's hilarious. You said deserve, and that is something that's been pushed. I never thought of it that way. But
deserve, no matter what you've done, or no matter your position.
Right.
It's kind of. But I was looking at this article about the polyamory part. I don't know if you brothers want to chime in, or you have any thoughts about that. Feel free. But, let's see where I find this article. Give me 1 second.
Polyamory, that's your girl, ain't it? A Will Smith's kid?
Oh,
that's what I was about to say. I was like, man.
Talking about Willow.
Is that what she said? She into whatever?
Yeah.
That's what, and I just saw that today.
That's that's some off the wall stuff, man.
I can't imagine that he's content with how things going on.
No, he can't. Man, he's a terrible dad. Yes, he is.
So it says, this is from Yahoo Life, I believe. Yeah. It says Willow Smith is polyamorous and proud. During the, let's see. During the latest episode of Red Table Talk, Willow mom Jada Pinkett and Smith and Adrian Banfield Norris, or Gammy, I'm not sure who that is, talked about the rising interest in polyamorous relationships. So Willow decided to open up about her decision to be polyamory. I find it shocking that you sit there next to your mother and say that, but nevertheless, grandmother too. But then again, look what's going on. Anyway, with polyamory, I feel like the main foundation is the freedom to be able to create a relationship style that works for you, and not just stepping into monogamy because that's what everyone around you says is the right thing to do. So I was like, how can I structure the way that I approach relationships with that in mind? Also doing research into polyamory, the main reasons why monogamous relationships or why marriage, why divorces happen is infidelity. All right, so I'm gonna skip that part and go down a little bit.
She saw her parents have a goofy relationship.
I'm sure she's seen some things.
That's why she don't want no part of it. You know?
So I'm pointing this out because if you're saying, well, I'm just in these open relationships, what is that? I mean, basically what's happened is they've taken what the Most High put forth and just like they've thrown it in a trash can. Because what he put forth is marriage.
Right.
Because then when you're talking about polygyny, it wasn't like whoredom was acceptable.
Right.
You know, so this is just whoredom.
Yeah. Well, it's headed down that path. I think you even addressed it in this book. The other day, my wife, when I was sitting here, and a thing came on TV about where some college professor was defending
pedophilia.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes.
And she was shocked. I said, "Woman, I've been telling you this forever." But she keeps thinking it's so far down the line. It's right here. But they was calling him polychild or something, child affection or something. Gave it a new clinical name that makes it what do you call it? That sanitizes it a little bit.
I'll tell you. Next time we talk, I'll tell you something about experience I had in academia in regard to that. Something that I found to be peculiar, but I won't say it on this platform, quite frankly. But yeah,
this is we going down that rabbit hole, brother. Like you said, Sodom and Gomorrah all over again.
Well, pedophilia is the next step.
Right.
It is the next step. If you look at if you look in that book where it talks about those platforms that those groups put forth, one of the things they wanted to do away with was the age of consent.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
So what does that mean? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to tell all your stuff.
Well.
They said they still got to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think in California, they made it so anybody could have sex with somebody that's above the age of 14 and within 10 to 12 years, or maybe it was 14 years, somewhere within that. So if you're 14, you can have relations with a 24 or 26-year-old and it'd be legal.
Well, they on the basis of trying to make things equal, they did that because it was so go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I said I'm not aware of that the age thing. That's all.
Yeah, that was some time ago. That was this year though.
Well, yeah, it's headed there. I seen there was a guy interviewing a couple. The woman was in charge and she had 2 husbands and a wife.
A sister?
Yeah. The brother was hitting pretty hard, man. And
she was married to two men and 1 woman.
Yeah. And the one brother started getting upset because they was cracking on him.
Wow.
The host was wearing him out, man.
Quite frankly, they're supposed to.
And I'm like, oh, he want to be manning up now.
Don't get mad now. You've been in a position of submission this whole time. But this is what the brother is talking about. Predatory CA governor signs law to reduce penalties for LGBT sex with minors. Signed a bill into law on Friday. This was from September that allows judges to determine whether an adult should be listed as a sex offender after engaging in sexual activity with a minor, especially LGBT sex acts. That's SB 145. Widens the discretion that is already granted to judges when deciding if a man should be listed on the state sex offender registry. So their position was, well, he already has that. That should be attributed to the LGBTQ situations as well. That's what that's talking about. But it's just, brother,
Saturday Night
going in the wrong
Live.
direction.
Yeah,
What's
absolutely. We in trouble. Saturday Night Live did a skit with The Rock in it a couple years ago, talking about a child molesting robot. The dude invented a child molesting robot, talking about the most evil thing I ever seen. And it came from a child molesting robot. And I lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. So that's why I'm always talking about programming. Like you said, we all getting conditioned to accept madness, really. So, yeah, that blew me away on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I didn't see that. It's crazy.
Yeah, but that's it.
It's crazy.
Matter of fact. Oh, I got a text message from my daughter. I'm sorry, that's why I was laughing. Let me see if I can find that skit. They might have took it off. But yeah, you're right. That's the last thing that's out there to do.
Teacher, a lot of this stuff was going on during the time of the Greeks, right? And even in a bit in the Rome.
Yeah, and that's what this culture is based off of, Greco-Roman culture. And those, you saw pedophilia.
Yeah.
Especially in Greece. That's how those relationships were. Women in those marriages were made for particularly progeny and inheritance, business. And then they had a lot of times they would have their male lover that was sometimes younger, or they had females. See, in those societies that proposed so-called monogamy, they had access to their female slaves. They did that, and so it's all here. It's kind of like hypocrisy, and the same. And so you look at the moral decadence in Rome. You ever read about that? It's pretty bad. That's the same thing that's going on right now. That sexual moral decadence. So that's not good. That's not good at all. So that needs to, I say something that it sounds. My wife was like, people not trying to hear what you're saying. Not with that. Even in the word, they ain't trying to hear that. Because a lot of times you see people, they operate in the same way they were in the world when it comes to it. But, particularly women, if you don't curtail the sexuality of women, that's a problem. Because the consequences of what you see, illegitimacy, which leads to poverty and all different types of problems, the preponderance of STIs, and then on top of that, when you take away stigma, and when you take away you give a woman a quote unquote right to abortion. So at the last minute, she said, if she's figured she's made a mistake with a man, hey, I could just, or I don't want to be bothered, or it's just not the right time. So now that leads to more evil.
Yeah, what bothers me is how it's almost they're boasting about stuff that I grew up thinking, at the very least you'd be ashamed of it to keep it hidden.
No shame.
But I saw a post the other day. This woman was like, I may be broke, but I'll never be too broke to not get an abortion. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
That was ooh.
Yeah.
I told you the other day, I heard a young person say abortion is beautiful.
Yeah, you told me that.
That's the mindset, man. That's troubling.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's why they fight so hard for that. They ain't giving that up. They fight hard for that one. They're not giving that one up. Yes, sir. All right, what else is going on, brothers? What I seen?
Man, I ain't trying to take over.
Memphis violence.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. What's going on in Memphis? Anybody?
Young Dolph just got killed.
Yes.
Talking about Project Pat the other day.
Huh? Yeah. I was. Yeah, he got killed, and I think something happened. Gotti out there too, or something like that. I don't know. Like this, my guy, family member got shot. It's just go ahead.
I'm gonna add on. My son was over here talking about it. He said that it was a fan of another rapper that killed the dog.
Really?
Now I don't know how true it is. He told me that it's another rapper down there in Memphis. They were beefing with this young Dolph. I don't know how true it is or nothing. And man, I can't think of the rapper's name, but I can see him. A fan. They said a fan of his shot him. He said the brother. So that's why I be talking about them beefs that these guys have. And like you said, you can get that star to almost get you to do anything. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like we talked about the stampede over there at the whatever world that was they had going on.
Oh,
these people idolize these people.
Yeah, Astro World.
Yeah, let me see if I can figure that out. Yeah, I found that molesting robot thing on here. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, let me see. Who did that dude get? He was talking about his beef with him.
I heard he was like getting something for his mom or something like that, like some cookies or something.
He was at the cookie spot that he frequents.
Yeah, that's bogus. That's bogus. I've never really listened to him like that, but it's just an unfortunate turn of events.
I know 4 days before he died, he was beefing with Soulja Boy, and he told Soulja Boy when he sees him, it's gonna be a problem.
Soulja Boy, Soulja Boy be tripping, huh?
They just keep talking, man. They got to stop that. Stop it.
What was you saying, Tim? My bad. I didn't cut you off.
I was just saying that wasn't his first time getting shot at.
Yeah.
I think he'd have been hit before one.
Yeah, the time where he got shot at over 100 times.
That was a song or something.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said that was in one of his songs, wasn't it?
I don't know, but I saw it when it came up on the news. They shot at his van over 100 times. I think it was armor proofed or something like that.
Yeah, Yo Gotti, my son said Yo Gotti was beefing with him. That's his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I wonder how much of that goes in because I think I just listened to a minister talking about life and death is in the words that and that's why I said I wonder if these brothers really realize how dangerous is the stuff they say. Stuff they saying.
Yeah, I think that some of them enjoyed living like that.
Yeah,
because I always hear people say that, like if they grew up in pariah situations, that the reason they act like that is because of that. But you still making conscious decisions and everything that you're doing.
He said everybody's a rapper. The thing that bothers me, I used to tell my kids, I said, if everybody lived like, the rappers in the 90s, I said, they all be dead. I said, they lying to y'all. They sell you that garbage. They get in their bins and go live up in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
The only rapper that I knew actually lived that way was what's his name? Tupac. He dead.
It's just acting
that way either.
Yeah, it's acting with lyrics.
Yeah, but he was trying to act that way out.
Oh, he was trying. Yeah, he got caught some gang.
And they killed him.
Stomped out a gangster.
Yeah, you see the rest of them.
Gangster. Yeah.
Dre was like, "Yo, keep that. I'm gonna go make some different music and get on up the road." Yeah, so that's why I try.
That don't value life at all. And they don't care if the next person dies, and they don't care if they die themselves. Yeah. And that's a real dangerous person to be around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a good point. Yeah, if they don't value their own life, and they don't value life, they ain't gonna value yours. Because you think about it, man. That man I saw some pictures of it, his children and his wife. Or it's kind of. It's like, man, just think about that. Okay, you about to take somebody's father, you about to take somebody's husband or spouse. It's a very unfortunate situation.
Right.
Very unfortunate over nothing. It ain't like, I think it would rap though. It's like you had to put on this persona. If you came from that life a little bit, now it's like you have to live. You have to live, or at least act like you're living according to that. And then sometimes beefs turn, real. It's really ridiculous.
Right. It's like you said, I'm rich now.
Yeah.
What are we gonna fight over? Who gonna pay the tab?
Right. I'm paying. It's $2,000. I got it.
And I buy your
take my black card.
Right. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unfortunate though.
But I'm just sad to believe
how we don't value our lives.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Well, yeah. They don't have nothing else to look up to, brother.
What's that?
I was talking to my son also. He was over here venting a little bit. He was talking about people in the military. He said somebody committed suicide in the military and another one tried to kill an OD.
That's common.
I was gonna say suicide is common amongst veterans.
That's very common.
Military, very common.
So I always asked them what was it, and they felt like they felt like they weren't going anywhere. He said they would get paid and broke, and they wouldn't they didn't owe anything. I mean, own anything.
Nobody was listening.
I'm sorry.
Nobody was listening.
Yeah, probably not. He said because the superiors didn't care. The way the story was told to him. The one survived the suicide, but the other one didn't. And that's why I was wondering: when they go in there, are they actually thinking it's going to fill the void? And I don't
got two vets on here, or two. Well, technically, you're not a veteran, but one I know Tim. Y'all want to comment on it? When
you see someone like die, or if like death becomes like normal, you kind of lose that desire to thrive. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that goes not just for people in the military, just in general. When you experience death, or if you live around death, death loses a certain significance. It's not a big deal at a certain point. You see so many people die. I had a friend. I had a couple friends die like back to back, and a young girl I was friends with. She's from I think she's from East St. Louis, which is a pretty bad neighborhood. And a couple of her friends was dying, and a couple of friends in Atlanta had died. And I remember she had she told me I had called her one time, and she said, "Man, I ain't talked to you in a week. I thought you were dead." And but she was serious because that's how fast people were dying, and it just kind of changes your perspective on life. Especially like if you at war or you've seen war, and you kind of just don't want to be a part of it anymore. You don't want to see death anymore. You kind of want to take yourself out of the picture.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Yeah, it's bad.
Man.
Yeah, the Navy has it real bad.
Really?
Oh yeah, there was a guy in Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. He was depressed. He ended up having like a clinical depression and multiple. This is pretty much schizophrenia. He wanted to go off base to get seen. He went off base to get seen after they told him he couldn't. When he got back, they locked him up in the brig. And then kicked him out.
Wow.
Yeah, we was talking about the general discharge and stuff like that, and a lot of those vets who get discharged and don't get the proper treatment or the proper aid psychologically, a lot of that happens to them. A lot of them end up homeless. They just not getting the psychological care that they need, you know.
Right.
So when you talking about people who deal with war, you know, and it's a certain mindset that they train you to be in, like these are some people who need some extensive attention, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I know the military has a lot of stuff for their veterans, but it seems like they don't tell them what they're qualified for, pour them toward the resources. Because I always hear them talking about it. Then I hear other people say, I didn't know I could do that, you know. So yeah, they gotta, yeah, man, that's sad. That's sad. Oh, 41%.
Increased by 41% in a very short amount of time.
5 years.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I don't know where that comes from, man. Other than unless they sold them a bill of goods. I don't know. I know a lot, they need a strong family though. Like I said, I'm always talking to my kids about stuff. I said, one of them texted me now. And so man.
I know a lot of military people join because in some shape or form there, except unless you're like an officer, in some shape or form you're broken and you look for brotherhood. And a lot of people get in and they don't find that. In fact, they find the opposite.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they gotta work, you know, around these people that they thought was gonna be their brothers, but turned out to be something else.
That's what my son said. He did say that. That the same people you end up not liking, you still got to work with them. Or even the officers. That's something. It ain't like you can transfer like a regular job.
I quit. No.
Right.
No. Can't do that.
Yeah. And some miserable work conditions. That's it's a pull, man. I mean, it's a pull for depression, you know. And you talking about being around 40, 50 unhappy people. You know, it's just not a situation. But you know, that's what we dealing with.
I'm glad y'all brought that out.
Yeah. Even with whether he said something, Brother Khalil and Brother Ten talking about all these people broken. Like if you come broken and then if the other people have the same message, it's broken people. Or
So they joined to kind of escape from where they were from?
I guess. I mean, and then too, I mean, they offer you, you know, especially recruiters, don't they offer you a lot of benefits or say you can have a lot of things, you know, money for college and
they gave me $20,000 when I signed up.
Really?
Cash. Well, not cash, but you know.
Yeah, I get in your bank account.
Yes, sir.
That's some temptation right there.
Yeah, it is, especially if you got $5 in your pocket.
Yeah.
And $6 in your bank account. Now you got $20,000, $11.
That's some bait if I ever see it.
You're like, I'm made. You play like this, yeah.
You got me up here like 20 grand, $20,000. Ooh. All right.
That's
Yeah,
that. That never crossed my mind, bro. That's one of them ones that never crossed my mind.
Well, you had degrees, bro. You had degrees. I remember I got laid off from my job back in I think it was 87. I got laid off. I was out of work for, a decent job. I was out of work for about a year and a half, working poo-putt jobs. And it crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And the dude that got out the military said, man, don't do it. He said, I'm out. He said, I just got out. He said, don't do it. I said, all right,
But that's a lot of young people know that's the opportunity they feel they have.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, sir. All right, what else we got? What else going on here? Let's see.
We
Hey, and I want to be careful in talking about this. And so I just put this out here. We ain't got, but you see the NBA said requiring mandating that they do booster shots.
Booster?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
they better send Kyrie home. He ain't.
I think he done. I think he done, bro.
That's
He
tragic,
really
man.
done. Yeah.
That's
Booster?
tragic.
That came out. Booster shot. I was like, man. Anyway.
Wow.
I seen where they said Johnson & Johnson and Moderna were making $1,000 a second.
All right.
Giving up.
I believe. Hey, man.
It's in an article.
Bill
the reason
Gates
I
ain't
looked it
invest
up-
for no reason.
Hey man, if it ain't nothing else, I wish I had some stock. Because Brother Lawson sent that information, sent the
Said
story
they
early.
should. What else? Oh, my bad, bro.
We do something.
No.
I'm saying.
My wife was talking about something Magic Johnson said. I didn't. I guess he was encouraging people to do it. I had to get it, and he wouldn't leave his teammates.
I see somebody jump on him about what he got into back in the day. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You gotta be careful, man. You know, and I'm not encouraging nobody to do this mess anymore after the if my one boy ain't got it, he been in all type of mess. I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna leave this alone. This might get us in trouble.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. But I just want to put it out there. Not going into it, but I just saw that news. What else?
I'm not doing it though. I already had the other stuff. They go.
So what's the science behind the boosting?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone, man. I'll leave it alone, bro.
No.
We talked about everything in the world. This will get us the boot.
Yeah, we just got off probation. I'm just off probation. YouTube probation.
I'm screaming on here about everything else, but
everybody said, "What's the science?" No. I don't want another strike from YouTube saying you are not a scientist. Nope.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you though, brother. I seen somebody else run a whole 45-minute thing on it.
Oh, I've seen a lot of that.
Nothing happened to that cat.
I've seen a lot of that.
So
I've seen a lot of that. I've seen some big names talk about it. Like when I say big names, I mean people that have a million subscribers.
Yeah, so whatever they was hated on for something else besides that. Yeah.
So what's the science behind it?
I
ain't even getting into it because, like I said, we just got off probation.
Right. It changed the way that I was thinking though.
Oh, what they were saying?
Yeah,
it's we need, information is key, man. The question is how to get it, how to process it, having the time to process it, and to vet the information. It's everything's being at the same time. It's so much information. I'm speaking generally. So much information. Right. I think that's the one of the biggest problems we have.
Information overload.
Information overload. We don't have the time to really vet things. We just go by headlines.
Mm-hmm.
If it's news, we just look at the headline. If it's a tweet, and we talk about it like we know what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Man, the people that told us to, you don't know if they're lying or not. And they're supposed to be trusted sources, and they have a vested interest in lying to you.
Right.
Or they.
Oh, you're right. That's what I was.
Pfizer. Look at Pfizer. You go look at the end of these news shows sponsored by Pfizer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you.
So many of them, and that's why when you look at them, they're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
People make
Like
it
they're
seem
reading
like
the script.
yeah, people make it seem like it's outlandish for them to be lying for profit.
Or look, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah.
I'm talking about like the
In general.
yeah, in general, I'm talking about the
Manipulating
news
data.
agencies. Yeah.
Yes. Always got to know always look behind the money. Where the money coming from.
Hey, y'all seen that guy? You remember the Viking that was at the Capitol?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He got 40 years.
No, he
40
didn't.
years.
That's he get that's 40 months.
Yeah,
41
I
months.
thought
Oh,
that was
yes,
40
42
years.
months.
we
42
just
months.
said you got to vet this information. And that man came and said he got 40 years. His pillars
My
walk
bad.
around. Yeah, good. I got out in 10. He got a long time to me. I mean, well, let me say this. Any time in jail is long.
Yeah.
40
And
months.
41 months, that's enough time to sit down and think about some things.
Oh yeah.
What's that? 12, 24, 32. Wait, no, that ain't right. That's 36. 36. That's 3 years and some
5
change.
months. 5
Yeah.
months.
5 months.
They get out with good
There you go.
behavior though. They let him out early for good behavior. Yeah.
That's tough. That's a long time.
So they charged a lot of them. I didn't see that.
Oh, they starting to get him.
Yeah, they getting people.
That guy that was sitting at Pelosi's desk, he got incarcerated. I'm not sure for how long, but
See, they gonna make an example out of them.
Because they attacked the halls of power. Now they can come in here and beat me up all day and ain't nobody gonna care.
They say it won't be on the local news.
Right. You went
Yeah,
in.
that was not wise, to say the least. That was not wise at all. You know, you think it's a game out here. It is not a game. It is not a game. And then when you see, that's the one thing, when there's a transition or a change in power, that's when the example is really made. You know, well, they pulling up Bannon. He's facing some issues right now too.
Right.
So yeah, it's hey, I remember I read once that I can't remember the source. It was so long ago, but it talked about how, you know, political enemies of Clinton that there was, according to this source, it was alleged that hey, they get audited. You know what I'm saying? They get
they use the IRS as a weapon. Oh,
yeah. I mean, that's amongst other things you hear about the Clintons.
Oh yeah.
You know, some I don't know, people ended up allegedly killed.
Talk about Ron Brown.
Allegedly. Yeah. There's some others too, though.
I know, man.
Yeah, it's quite a few. It's like, man.
There's like a few dozen.
It's a few of them.
Man, one dude, what did he, wait a minute, never mind. Crashed the plane and got shot in the head.
And got shot in the head, yeah. How you crashed the plane,
Wait,
shot in the head? Where the bullet come from? Yeah.
But anyway, look,
Yeah.
that's the one I'm really scared to talk about. My doorbell ring. Ding dong. We need to talk to you, Mr. Cates. I'll just mess around.
Yeah, you don't want them kind of problems.
Nah, it wasn't their problem.
But yeah, man, the man, you think it's a game. You really got to think about what you're doing out here.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of want to, like, even when we talking about with the young men killing each other, like, sometimes if you just, even, what they say, the soft answer turn away wrath, sometimes you don't got to snap off.
Right.
You know, you kind of got to think situations out, man. Use your head.
Yeah.
You know, I remember a guy, a friend I went to school with, he still was living in the hood at the time I was talking to him. And he was in the store and these dudes came out. It was in a gas station. It was late. He had to go in though, and they was tripping, talking crazy to him. And they was strapped, was about to kill him, but then he thought about his son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he thought, so he had to reconsider some things.
Right.
You really have to put things into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just you anymore, you know, it's just the people you're living for. I was looking at that. I was looking at the people that were in that area talking about the stuff, the things that he had done as far as giving back to that community. I don't know if it's, I don't know what he's done. I'm not familiar with as far as all that he's done, as far as, helping out. But like, bro, people like that, that's actually a asset or a resource for the community.
Right.
People living in people living in a community like that, you do that to them. I saw that this was in Chicago. This fireman's coming out with a popcorn shop, and man, they tried to steal his car and it came up. He started firing back, but they killed him. I'm like, man, you leave a widow and that man had kids. That man was a person like that is a resource for a community.
Yeah. You know what I used to tell him? I always said, if my car gets stolen, I'm gonna say, hey man, don't bring it back wrecked. If you're going to steal it, finish it off. Finish it off so my insurance company ain't trying to put duct tape on it and give it back to me. Right.
No, man, they came up on him, guns drawn, and they were not playing. They had ski masks and everything. It was on video. I was like, man, he ducked behind the car. He had his pistol, but he hit one of them, but it was too many of them. Yeah. He's coming out like the popcorn place. I'm like, man, this is older, retired.
To get his car?
I believe so.
Well,
I know.
It looked like a hit, though. To be honest, how they did it, but it looked like a straight up hit. Who does that? It was like 3 guys, 1 driving, 2 get out the car shooting with masks on.
Was it in Chicago, Brother Elisha?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the dudes had on the red hoodie. Yeah, that scenario, it was a hit because that he was a lieutenant. He was retired though. He had got his pension or something like that. He was retired in the city.
Right, but
who wanted him dead?
Huh?
Who wanted him dead? That's
what I was saying. I don't know how they approached it like something you see out of a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sad. It was unfortunate.
That's unfortunate, man. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Y'all doing all right though?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm cooking this food right now, man. Just got on work.
What we eating, brother?
I'm eating some chicken tenders and some fries.
I said, what we eating?
You caught that one. I tried to slide.
I know what you're eating. I'm eating some food.
I got you though. You're more than welcome though if you want some.
DHL.
Right, it's too late, bro. It's too late. You see how you cut me out of that?
You over the trauma of that wreck. Your car down though, I see.
Oh yeah.
Man, I don't even want to talk about that. I just started feeling better and stuff. I'm like, what it is.
You took it up with your insurance? Did your insurance cover you or?
Nah, because it happened in a gas station. So they were saying like the same laws that apply on the street and stuff don't apply in the parking lot. It's basically like, yeah, it's like everybody is who got the right of way. It's like y'all judgment. And he pulled out. I was coming into the gas station. He was trying to beat me out onto traffic because the traffic was coming behind me, like off the intersection. And I don't know if he seen me or not. He just hit me, but they was like, it ain't nothing they can do because it happened in the parking lot.
That's crazy, man.
They was like, if I was still on the street and he hit me, then they said I would have been good. But they said I pulled in right before he hit me. They was like, that's what made it change. I was hot. I was like, so I would have been your car though, right? Nah, I got to come out of pocket for that. I got to replace the part and everything.
That's bogus, man.
You got full coverage
on the thing, yeah.
Wow.
They see it. It was like they said they deem it as no fault. Like they just said they deemed it as reckless driving. So they was just like, y'all just both sides got to chuck it up as a L, I guess. Because I was looking, I'm like, it's been pretty much nothing I can do because I was trying to look into because I went yesterday to try to get the ticket thrown out because I ended up getting I ended up getting a little upset. Yeah, I ended up getting a little too upset because I felt some type of way. I'm like, bro, I still feel he should pay for this. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean? Well, it was just wild, bro. So I tried to go in.
I just don't know how you could get a ticket and then the insurance company says it's no fault. Or if the ticket was issued for the accident.
The way I was trying to look at it is, I'm like, I wonder if they trying to say it was my fault. Like, because that's the only way I could think of it. I'm trying to see if they basically trying to say if it's my fault. Because other than that, they didn't really too much do anything to him. Like, they pulled up, checked his stuff, and then he left before I was able to leave.
So you were cited. The ticket says you were at fault.
Hold on, let me go get it.
The only reason why I bring that up is my mom used to be a claims adjuster, and my wife got hit, and the insurance companies tried that where no fault or something, and I appealed it and sent it to sent it to arbitration, and they ruled in my favor.
My bad. Yeah, the ticket is downstairs in the car. I kept it with
it ain't that important, brother. It ain't that important. It just, if it doesn't say, if it cites you for being at fault, then that's one thing. But generally, if in parking lots, from my experience, like people back out and hit each other in the Kroger's parking lot, the police will say that happened on private property. So they don't make a decision unless it's on the street. That's when they generally let the insurance companies figure it out. Something. That's anyway. I'll talk to you a different time, if you want.
No, I appreciate it though. Cause I tried everything because he hit me like right in front of the camera, and I'm telling him, hey, I was on the phone with the dispatcher and everything. I'm telling him, like, yo, he hit me like the camera right here. I'm like, everything y'all need to see is right here. And basically when they pull up, and she was saying the same thing on the phone. She was like, I mean, it's not like anybody caused any harm or nobody's injured, so they can't really build no actual case. It'd just be a civil suit. It was like you would just have to file a lawsuit. Bro, I don't got that right now. I'm like, all right, it is what it is.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weak, but it is what it is. I just don't got good luck with cars. I got rid of the car to replace it with that one because I got hit in a hit and run in my Scion, and I used that to turn it in. Got $600 for it. Used it towards that, and I got that car in May, and that stuff just happened.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Yeah, I'm getting my whip fixed right now.
Yeah, he got hit too. He got hit too. Got rear-ended coming out your job, right?
Yeah. Somebody rear-ended me. They was on the phone with their mom, and they rear-ended me. But he paid for it though. I was good, man. I wasn't coming out of pocket like that.
I was like, you met a decent person.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my dude, he started acting like he ain't speak English once everything hit the fan. Yeah, because I'm over there, like he was over there holding up the paper, and he tapping his wrist and stuff, and he like, ¿Qué pasa? I'm like, huh? And he like, ¿Qué pasa? I'm like, I was like, uno momento, Felicio. And he's like, Felicio. I was like, Felicio. And he's like, oh, and then he kept like tapping at his insurance, and I was like, mi madre, because I didn't know what to say. So I'm like, my mom, and I'm pointing at his insurance, like my mom got it because I'm on her insurance. So I was waiting for her to pull up, but it was like after that, bro, that nigga, my bad, excuse my language, but he actually tried to run, and it was like, bro, it was like a firecracker lit on it. I'm like, bro, what? I was like, hell no, but I was like, all right. And then, man, it was weak, bro.
You would have took off.
Huh?
Tim, you're saying something, brother? You muted or something.
Nah, I was saying.
Oh.
Yeah, you
good. Go ahead. I heard you. My fault. I heard you now.
I was saying, it probably would have worked out better for you if he would have tried to take off.
Yeah, because then it would have been it wouldn't have been a civil suit anymore. That's what the police told me would have happened if he would have took off on me too. It would have been a different charge.
See, but the only reason why I had went after him though was because in Texas, like you don't have to the person don't have to wait on the police. Like if they volunteer to show you your ID and the insurance, they can use that and leave, and they can say that they volunteered to show it. You just wouldn't take it. You wanted to wait on the police. And, at the time, that's when he was doing that, I don't speak English and all of that. He was just showing his license, and he was showing his passport. It looked like passport. It looked like his insurance, but like, I swear it was his passport. Cause I'm looking at it, I'm like, bro, that's not insurance. Like it had his picture on it. So I'm like, that looked like his passport and stuff. But it was like afterwards, when I said Policio, he just looked at me and, he's like, oh, okay. He pointed to his car. He went back and he sat there. I'm just sitting in the car. It was like like 10, 15 seconds while you see he just skirted off right in front of me. And I was like, I'll put the car in drive. I'm like, nah, not this time. I'm like, bro, the last one got away. I'm like, I'm not paying out of pocket again. But still got to do that anyway.
It don't sound like he had a passport if he ran like that, brother.
Man, I was like, yo, I'm like, all right, bro.
As bad as it is, it could always be worse.
You still healthy, man.
You could be, I can have that car wrapped around a pole.
Yeah.
Or you can do, man, I do my own repairs with duct tape, junkyard and duct tape, man.
I tried, the tape won't stick. And this weather too bipolar down here in Texas, the tape won't stick. Like I put it on there and sometimes it'll rain and then the next day it'll be hot. Like the tape is not sticking. It's like I put it on there and I wake up, now it's like tape and it's like hanging way lower than it was before. I'm like, all right, bro. Like I'm about ready to just take the whole bumper off. I'm like, that look tackier than what it looked like now.
All right, brother.
I know it's bad. It'll be all right.
It get better.
It'll be all right. It'll get better.
Cars
But yeah, on the bright side though, I got a new job though, so I'm all right, man. It was crazy though, because when that happened, I got the call, found I had got the job, and then right afterwards, I was picking up Chick-fil-A on my way to Chick-fil-A. I was on the phone, like I had her coming through the radio and stuff, and I was setting the schedule, and she was like, you can come in for orientation next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This was on Monday. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, y'all ain't got no available dates though, like nothing sooner, because I'm ready to work right now. And she was like, I'll look into it. But after we got off the phone, like soon as we got through the light, I got off the phone with her, we got to the light, I made the U-turn at the intersection, boom, and it happened. I'm like, bro, like soon as I got a better job, like better paying everything, I'm like, if it ain't one thing, it's another, bro.
Now, but you saying that there's one thing about it though, now, if you keep going, that's gonna keep happening.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It ain't like that's gonna change. It's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be something. So let me tell you this. Let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
The key to that is, I'm not saying stoicism, but like you don't want to get too high or too low. You don't want to let your emotions take over with certain situations. You want to always deal in logic as much as you can, because you're gonna have that's what life is. It's full of trouble and crises. If that saying is true, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. Soon somebody gonna die, That's our lives. So we have to, especially as men, we have to operate in a way that's we're dealing with wisdom, and we can't let the situation overtake us. Okay, you just how you got that job, right? And you've been doing what you've been maintaining, you're gonna continue to do that. Yeah. And things gonna get better for you. Yeah. And in times of crisis, in the storm, you're gonna keep standing in the storm. That's what you gotta do. That's what you should do. You got it, because crises are going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's gonna happen. I've been hit like that maybe 4 times. 3 times people ran into me in the back. One time I was telling the brothers the other day, I'm sitting at a stoplight, lady come from out of nowhere, she lose control. I'm like, this lady about to hit me. Mm-hmm. It seemed like it took like 10 minutes. I'm like, it was a car in front of me. I couldn't go anywhere. So she hit the car in front of me, boom, 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 then hit me. Like, I'm going to my aunt's funeral. Then I'm on my way to my aunt's funeral, and then this lady texts. I'm waiting to turn. I'm at a stop. She hit me in the back. Yeah. So yeah, brother, that's what life is. The thing is, the key though is you want to maintain balance through those things and put things into perspective. And
the car wrecks won't even matter after a while. I've been upset about eating my chicken sandwich in that car at my age, man. That Chick-fil-A good.
Chick-fil-A.
I swear, man. Like I was like, when afterwards I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. Like that day, the day it happened, like I was hot. Like when I text that in the chat, man, I was hot. I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, I ain't gonna lie. It was probably best that he did get away. I was like, it wouldn't have been no good if I actually got my hands on him. Like, bro, you gonna hit my stuff and then run. Like, you gonna run. You gonna admit that you wrong. You gonna basically show your stuff like, okay, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and then try to slide. Like, nah. But afterwards, that's why I called my brothers though. Once it happened, I just called my brothers because they ain't my older brothers. They normally be pretty level headed about stuff. Me, I'm trying to. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but I still got the mentality where it's like, somebody mess over me or they do me wrong. It's like I instantly want to get back at them or try and, you know what I mean? But yeah, I called my brothers. They made sure they came up there. They was like, they said the same thing y'all said. They was like, on the bright side, though, they was like, you straight. They was like, on the bright side, you got a no job. They was like, so it sounds like you got the means to take care of it. I'm like, it ain't what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. At the end of the day, that's what you got to do. You still got to get fixed.
Yeah, and we, a couple of things too. We don't look at life. We look at life as if we're like something like you got more money with a job. I mean, you making more money. Watch, you about to spend more money.
Right. Because my lease is up in 2 weeks. So yeah,
you're gonna spend more money. You're gonna be in the same situation. You might be in a better place, better car, spending more money. Thinking like, man, how am I gonna get this money?
Hey, I figured that because I used to think, I'm like, when you look at some of these rappers, I'm like, bro, nothing changed really. I'm like, the only difference is they ain't in the hood like that, struggling or living check to check or going day by day trying to make it. Like now they living a little bit above the means or they living right at their means. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like either no matter how much you make, it's just gonna always, the problem's gonna always find itself leveling it out to the income you got coming in. I'm starting to figure that out.
Oh yeah, that's why I always tell the story of my mother. She lived in a gated community. It's huge homes, huge cribs out there, man. And there's one like right across they were building. And I was like, man, when those people gonna, move in finally? She said, oh no, they didn't, they ran into some issues and you go into their house, like the whole bottom part, they couldn't build. They couldn't finish it. So it's like, a lot of people out there, you'd be surprised how people are living paycheck to paycheck. You got doctors, lawyers living paycheck to paycheck. You have people who are wealthy, and you got to think about it. We think of home ownership. No, you are owned by the home. People don't realize that. You the slave.
Mortgage.
Man, yeah.
It's an expensive luxury.
Man, look, let me tell y'all, dude. So look, my lease is up, because I'm like, I had moved out for the first time. Like I finally had moved out when I turned 20. So I was in my own apartment. I only signed for a year though, just to make sure, like, get the feel of it, see what it's like being on your own and everything. So now my lease is up in 2 weeks. Yo, I kid y'all not. This inflation stuff, bro, that is crazy. I have everywhere I go now for the same square feet. It's not $950 or $1,000 no more. Like the lowest I heard, they said $1,450. I'm like, bro, for an 800 square feet apartment, a 1 bedroom, Austin, $1,450 at the lowest.
Yeah.
Hey, what you say, Austin? What was you telling me last week?
A 1 bedroom down here in the G. This the G.
This the hood.
$1,000 and up for one bedroom. One bedroom.
In the hood. In the hood.
That's bad. That's man.
A 1 bedroom here is like 22.
Yeah. 24. So see.
Yeah, see the 2 bedrooms here. She said they was going about like they were starting off from 25 to 2,900. I'm like, bro, who's paying 3 bands for a 2 bedroom? Right.
Hey, but you heard what Brother Khalil said, right? And I know Micaiah would say the same thing. You see, you heard that, brother. We ain't gonna just run past that 2 stacks like we ain't hear what he said.
He said 22. I thought he said
22, 24 for a 1 bedroom.
For one studio.
What Micaiah was in California.
Studio, that's not even a bedroom.
Yeah.
Where you live at again, brother?
Maryland.
What do people do to get by? Cause like
they starve, brother.
They roommate.
I'm about to say roommates.
Yeah,
that's what I did right now. I moved out with one of the guys that I was doing like acting and modeling and stuff with. Like I moved out with one of these that I had in my entertainment group. Like I moved out because we've been friends. That's been my boy for about 8 years. Like since I moved here, that was the first person I met in high school. So, you know, we got real cool. But it was like, man, I was sitting there, I'm like, bro, I'm no lie. I text my mom. I'm like, hey, I'm like, so about when I was 19, that little 500 a month you used to ask for, I'm like, is that still on the table, bro?
Like, is that offer still on the table? That went up.
Man, I'm like, I will give you that no problem, bro. Like, that's all you want.
Nah, that didn't went up, son. But,
like, bro, I take the bathroom. I sleep in the bathroom, bro. Like, yo,
you can sleep in the garage for 900.
Man, look, yo, I was on the phone with the lady, and I told her when she said that price, no lie, I was on the phone. I was like, damn, she started laughing. So I was like, yo, I'm like, hey, yo, man, what's the one things where it don't have a bedroom? It's just space. And she's like, a studio. I was like, yeah. I was like, so what's the biggest y'all got, and what's the smallest y'all got? She's like, the studio, the smallest we have is 400 square feet. She's like, the biggest we have is 650. I was like, okay, that's decent. I was like, so how much? She said the 400 studio is going for 1050, bro. I was like, yo, come on, like that's ridiculous.
Does that include utility?
People out of home ownership.
No, that ain't include. You still. She said that ain't including pest control, the garbage. That ain't include none of that, and you still got to pay like the if you know like the electricity, the water. Bro, that ain't include none of that. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, bro.
And like Bill Cosby said in that one episode, you haven't eaten yet, right? You when he was talking to Theo, you haven't. You hear what your brother Makai said? It's gonna go up then crash. He's talking about the market. You talking about the market, good brother?
Oh, that housing bubble.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's what happens. So it's a seller's market. And so anyway. But yeah, brother.
Loaf of bread is $3 now.
Man.
Yeah, bread
is $3.
Going up, heat's going up.
Bro, our gas about to touch $4.
You ain't gonna have to worry about people ain't gonna have to worry about toilet paper in a minute. Because you use money.
They buy it.
You can use the money.
You can use this greenbacks in a minute, brother.
$100 bill.
$100 bill. You're gonna be like Venezuela in a minute, man. Man, these systems are volatile, man.
Venezuela's, oh my gosh.
It's crazy, man.
And I don't want to tell jokes about their situation because it's real. You know, people getting their food out of garbage cans. You know, taking. Man, you see how it's like Germany before World War II, how they were taking suitcases to get a loaf of bread or money. Just a suitcase full of money.
Yeah.
Man.
For a loaf of bread, yo, that's crazy, man. Like,
like you saying, we printed so much of it.
Yeah.
There's so much
quantitative easing. Yeah. They just print money. Yeah. They just print money.
Like I was seeing videos back in like old videos over there, like in Africa and in Haiti and some of the countries where they be over there like bathing in that same that I want to say, what is that, like that river water or whatever, bro? And they like that's the same place they go and use the bathroom, man. Yeah. They be eating. I'm like, they be eating worms and stuff.
Now think about what you're saying, brother. Like I was telling you, it could always be worse.
That's why I didn't get mad.
Even how we live in now, we could, you know, with the struggle, it ain't like the struggle like the most people on the planet.
Right.
Go to some of these countries and see how people living. Probably go to where, and I'm assuming, go and see what the man that hit you, what his situation was. I'm assuming you say if he wasn't from here.
Yeah, he wasn't. It was I want to say I think I seen it. I want to say it was either an H or a V though, but he was either from, I think it said Honduras or Venezuela. But it looked like an H or a V. I just couldn't get a good look at it, but it looked like it was a passport for sure because it had his picture on it, and it was one of them like it looked like a pad or a booklet a little bit.
Yeah. So, when I went to Texas, in Houston, the time I visited, I saw a bunch of Latino brothers just all lined up at Home Depot.
That's here too.
I get work. Then I saw a bunch of other people living up under a bridge.
Didn't even have to leave America, did you? Poverty's right here.
Yeah, so they doing that on the El Paso border with them migrants from Haiti and stuff. They living on the border.
Brother, like I said, it could be worse. It could be worse. Mm-hmm. It could be worse, brother. Yeah.
In Hawaii, this sounds like a joke, but it's for real. California buys the homeless a one-way ticket to Hawaii.
Hey man, don't.
That's bogus, bro.
You can't afford to eat in Hawaii, brother.
That's
Hawaii's
bogus.
expensive.
Hawaii is very expensive. What can you explain that, brother? That's one I've never heard. I gotta go research that. You
So
said they send them they buy them a one-way ticket out of California to Hawaii.
yeah,
Okay.
I think I forgot what I heard the offer was, but they'll offer them a one-way a trip to Hawaii, but not tell them like we're not bringing you back, and they'll send them out there, and then like there's so like in like downtown Waikiki, there's like they got a what's it called? Tent City. They got Tent City in Waikiki, but then on the west side of the island where they pushed all the Hawaiians, there's like a forest mangrove area across from a school that's in front of the beach. There's a bunch of pallets and tents and stuff, and that's where they live. Like a community of no joke tents because they people fly their homeless out to Oahu.
Really?
I heard that multiple times. I thought it was a joke, but I heard that multiple times.
Brother, I've been told it's cheaper to go to England than to go to Hawaii.
I think my rent in Hawaii used to be like $2,900.
Oh.
$2,931. Yeah.
It
That's
is.
crazy. $3,000. That's crazy for a
Hey,
one
so
bedroom.
they just shipped them to Hawaii.
That's crazy. How you got a free, you won. You know what I'm saying?
Homeless in Hawaii.
You're like, where I'm going, man? You going to Hawaii. Man.
They started building like little one room houses for them, and they ran out of money.
You mean in California?
No, in Hawaii.
Oh, in Hawaii. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it ain't getting no cheaper.
Oh, let me get off of this so they can start. I don't even know what that is. Let me get off of that.
Yeah. It's bad. Hey, brother, y'all was talking about the brother who got his execution stayed. I don't know anything about that.
Julius Jones out of Oklahoma. He was accused of a crime that a lot of this it's questionable whether or not he actually did it. And he was said to be executed. The governor just commuted it though, so they saved him from that, from being executed. He was a college student, and it could have been that he was framed. I don't know that the Innocence Project is on that, so he commuted the sentence, so he's not going to be executed. He just did that like hours before he's about to be executed today. He's supposed to be executed like 4:00. But I just look at that. You think about who, as far as murder.
Running back.
You reading it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the death penalty, man. I'm like, it can't be any doubt. If you're gonna kill somebody, that one has to be.
Well, that's the problem. So that's a problem, and then, but the main problem, which is why, like Jesus said, he was without sin let him cast the first stone. Like, how a bunch of adulterers and idolaters is I'm gonna sentence you to death. You're not actually in a moral position.
Right.
I was just about to talk about that too, brother. I don't know if y'all saw that. That was on my thing next.
That I did see.
Let me pull it up.
Freeing the dude, exonerated.
Exonerated him after all these years. Everybody know he didn't do, but that just shows you the kind of thing that the FBI was doing.
Yeah. Now, what the people that pulled the trigger were who was it then? We still don't know who it is.
They know who it is.
Because I thought one of the brothers got caught fleeing, didn't he? So that's
Yeah, district attorney apologized, calls out J. Edgar Hoover as man exonerated in murder of Malcolm X. Yeah, I was just about to talk about that. It's funny how he took I have 1965. It was 2021.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched somebody had a special. I don't remember what it was on.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah, maybe that was it. I watched it, The Truth of Who Killed Him. And I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that brother, like I said, they know, because you look at what happened
Hoover.
with
Hoover knows.
Yeah. When everybody, I think this was just a few years ago when they started talking about who killed Tupac, and then you start seeing all these people who knew who it was, coming out giving their side of the story. So I mean, it's they know.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Ain't nobody talking though, huh? But $20,000 though. I'm gonna be pointing at somebody. There you go. I'm just teasing, man.
I was about to say, dang, brother Elba, only 20?
Hey, man, I'm broke. I tell you about that local bread already, didn't I?
No, man.
$3.
Hey, but I feel you though. I feel you, man. All this week I've been sitting here just eat, like dipping in that. Like I'll be eating chips, and then sometimes I don't even be having stuff to eat. I just be drinking. I be running through these. Like I just be drinking all of these waters, trying to fill myself up and stuff. But tonight I got a nice meal. I actually got some chicken tenders and some French fries. So we about to eat good tonight.
Good.
Yeah, we about to eat.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to tell you. Oh yeah, I forgot. Hold up, I forgot because it was done, so I had to let you know. Like the fries almost done because this little new air fryer. I like these air fryers. Man.
Oh, that's the good one.
You and brother Austin.
You see, he know what's up, man.
I got that
one. Boy, Oscar, he used that air fryer like.
You could put anything up in them air fryers, man. I put fish up in there. I put vegetables. All that. You just throw that up in there. You good.
Here.
I reposted my sub in that thing today.
Everybody must like the new George Foreman grill or something.
What you say, brother?
George Foreman could keep that. He keep that.
Hey,
I was on George Foreman until I
got me some college, brother.
Hey, but look though, brother Elisha, I got you. See, look, we got the fries, and then I'm finna make me a little. See what I'm doing? See, we can split one with you, and then I got me some chicken. Finna make me some chicken sandwiches with it. And I'm gonna show. Hold on, let me show you what I put. I ain't put too much on it, but we put a little bit of on the little chicken. Gotta have a little bit of spice to it, I hope you don't mind Cajun.
He doing
right. You can't go wrong with black pepper.
You can't do that with no George Foreman, but you could put all that shit up in there.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. And we don't use grease. I cook with olive oil. Grease be giving me heartburn sometimes, man. That's how I know I'm getting old. I'm like, grease be giving me heartburn and stuff, bro. Like certain food.
That was an old statement. That was a little right there.
Man. It's rough, but I'm making it.
That brother cooking, man.
In America, it's our population is 20 to 25% of our people suffer from acid reflux and gastric esophageal disorder, which is acid reflux. But and I believe, as you say that the 75% that don't have the acid reflux is the young population that just hasn't got there yet. But that's a big thing.
What is causing it? I mean, what specifically in the food? I assume, but what is or
low stomach acid. A lot of the stuff that we eat dilutes our stomach acid or reduces the amount that our stomach acid builds, and that's when we start to regurgitate.
Wow.
Say again?
No, I was just asking what he's saying bacteria. Okay. So you ruin your gut basically.
Right.
Okay.
Right. The lining of it.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we eat, because your stomach acid is it uses nutrients to build it up. and a lot of the stuff that we eat doesn't have that
nutrients in it.
There you go.
Oh wow, it needs nutrients. Your stomach acid needs nutrients, and your food doesn't have it.
Right, and that's what's going on.
We over here eating plastic.
Yes. Well, the shot of vinegar, does that I heard somebody say take a shot of vinegar to get your
I mean, you still not fixing the root problem, you know what I'm saying?
right.
And
So,
go ahead. No, go ahead, bro. No, I wasn't. I thought you was done. I was about to read some Makai. You go ahead and finish me, bro.
Yeah, it's just I said just your stomach acid, man. It breaks our foods down and allows the intestines to absorb the nutrients. So when our stomach acid isn't breaking the food down, our bodies can't absorb the nutrients, and we become, vitamin deficient and protein deficient. And I believe that we suffer from that on a large scale in this country. Just it varies from person to person how significant it is, but it's a huge problem, bro.
I believe you, brother.
I don't know if y'all wanted to see the chat what brother Makai was saying. He was talking about the bacteria, the good bacteria. I heard about, I had heard about that. He said he's dealing with that right now. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Talking about that food. Like I'm over here taking Super C, vitamin D, and zinc. This is what y'all said helps that blame whatever thing going around is, I ain't gonna name.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, all right, good brothers. Well, I appreciate y'all. Go ahead and shut it down.
All right.
And you enjoy that meal, good brother.
I got you, man.
I
got you.
And Lord willing, I'll see you brothers in a few hours for Bible study.
All right.
I'll be easy.
Family.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all in a little bit. Y'all be safe, man.
Peace.
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 All right.